UFC Vegas 101 is coming up in about a month, and today I have what could possibly be the quickest betting guide of all time with timestamps if you'd like to skip to any part of the video. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with many YouTube channels. Guys, the reason why I said this is really quick is because I think this is one of the most difficult cards to bet on that we've had in a little while. For example, I have two confident picks for you. One that might not even be there, but we'll get into it, guys. We'll get into it as we usually do. Timestamps are there if you like skipped any part of the video. Thank you so much for being here. Let's get started with the first confident pick of mine, and that is going to be Cesar Almeida. I think that from what we've seen with Cesar Almeida, despite his last performance and all the cheating, I mean, you could look at all the cheating against Ihor Potieria as something like, hey, this dude isn't afraid to cheat. The refs will never do anything about it. So that could be something to take into consideration. But I think with Cesar Almeida, from what we've seen after the Contender Series, he is shown to have a complete game, and not only a complete game, but an evolving game. And I do believe that he is a step ahead of somebody to the extent of Abdul Razak Al Hassan, who I can only see winning this fight by a KO. If he doesn't do that, I don't think that he'll, and first of all, I don't even think that he's going to get KO'd. I just think that Cesar Almeida is a step ahead of him. And guys, if you found this channel organically, if you are interested in seeing me dive into these fights as much as I possibly can, I already have a full card breakdown doing so. This is kind of the recap just for the quick betting part of the video, okay? Let's continue on to another confident pick, but the problem is, this is almost, it's a good pick of mine, but I'm not feeling super confident about it, okay? It's Amanda Ribas. We've seen this fight before. I've always thought Mackenzie Dern is completely 1,000% overrated. And I think Amanda Ribas is in her prime. She's tough enough. She has done better against better competition. She's probably going to be a better striker. I think she can hang in the grappling. But it's WMMA. I am not betting on this one. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying with this fight. I almost don't want to bet on it. I'm personally not going to be betting on it. But I also do think if I look at this, like my gut goes, Ribas is a capable fighter. Dern has always been overrated. That's how I feel about it. Okay, with that, guys, let's continue on to the Underdog Opportunities. These are two fights on the card that I believe, if you're looking for value on your money, they're not necessarily picks of mine, but I could very well see these upsets happening. The first one's going to be Christian Rodriguez taking on a surging contender. And what does Christian Rodriguez do best? Fraud checks. In all seriousness, no. I think that this is a huge step up in competition. Bashi's going to want to bring on the wrestling. I think that Christian Rodriguez has shown that he is a very capable fighter himself. He's taken on some fantastic competition so far in the UFC, and I think that he has a bright future ahead of him. He has taken on way better competition than Austin Bashi. Like, there's not a ton to say over there. There's not a ton to say. He's unproven, and he's taken on an absolute dog in Christian Rodriguez. I do believe Christian Rodriguez is going to win this fight, and I think that he's an excellent underdog opportunity. Let's continue on, and you guys will probably disagree with me on this one, okay? Punahel Soriano, underdog opportunity. Uros Medic could absolutely come out and starch him. Absolutely. The only reason that I'm saying this is because we've seen Soriano in a brand new weight class, and in his last fight, he absolutely shined. He looked fantastic. If he continues that momentum, if he carries on, if he continues to get better, he could carry that momentum into the fight against Uros Medic. I think that the possibility of him winning is absolutely there, and that's why he is an underdog opportunity of mine. But let's continue on to some fights that I believe you should be avoiding. I picked two fights out of all the fights on the card that I believe you should not be betting on. I don't believe you should be betting on the vast majority of this card, to be honest with you. Let's get into it. Marco Tulio versus Ihor Potieria. I think that Ihor Potieria is a very, very underrated fighter. And in his last fight, we talked about it a few times on the channel. He was getting fouled over and over and over again. I know he's 21-7. I know he hasn't been winning, but at this new weight class, he is a very capable fighter himself. He's taken on Marco Tulio, who looks to be fantastic, but the problem is we have not seen him fight anybody to the level of Ihor Potieria. So I'm not ready to sit here and say that Marco Tulio is going to beat Ihor Potieria. It just would not shock me if that was the case. Okay, let's continue on to Thiago Moises versus Trey Ogden. Two great fighters taking on each other. I don't know who's going to win. That one's very simple. I think that Thiago Moises is a very complete fighter, kind of the same with Trey Ogden. I don't know who's going to be able to impose their will. Thiago Moises coming off a very disappointing performance, but he's fought some of the greatest competition, man. Like, both these guys are very, very good at they're top talent, in my opinion. They're just outside the rankings. I think they're great, and I think this is a really good matchup. I don't think you should be betting on this one because I don't know what's going to happen. Now, guys, let's continue on to my personal lock of the week. The fighter on the card that I believe has the best chance of winning is Roman Kopylov. I am extremely confident in this fight. I think that Roman Kopylov, his one big worry is being taken down, being wrestled, any BJJ. Chris Curtis isn't going to bring that. Chris Curtis hasn't looked good as of recently. His age might be starting to hit him. He's 37 years old. Roman Kopylov is still, he might be exiting his prime now, but this is going to be a stand-up fight. And I don't think that Chris Curtis's defense and counters are going to be anything that Roman Kopylov will have to worry about. I think the striking is going to be night and day for this fight. Kopylov is going to destroy him. I think it's going to be a one-sided fight, and I'm extremely, extremely confident that he will get the job done. He has more tools than Chris Curtis on the feet. He's better on the feet, and I think he's going to have a very, very clear victory. Curtis is tough, so I don't know if he's necessarily going to finish that fight. Regardless, it's going to be good. Let's take a look at more of the fun part of the video now, guys. As of right now, there are no props for us to take a look at, but let's see if we can make anything going over here on Betway. I like the interface. I've recently switched over to Bet365, so let's see. What can we do, man? I hate this card for betting. First of all, let's see what all the underdogs get us. My sister and I, every week, we put 10 cents on every single underdog just to see if we can get a ridiculous payout. And you never know. I think it's worth our 10 cents each week. There we go. We got $176,500. My dog's right beneath me. $176,000. But I will sit here and say my sister and I were almost millionaires on one Bellator card one time. But regardless, let's do some picks because I don't know. Like, I wouldn't be comfortable parlaying a single thing on this card. I'm not even kidding. Like, Roman Kopylov, Cesar Almeida, maybe. Where's Cesar Almeida? Where's Cesar Almeida? There he is. That together gets you almost double your money, but honestly, these are things that I would just play by themselves. Let's take a look. Let's just do some picks to see what we get out with, okay? Roman Kopylov, Ernesta. Such a tough fight. Marco Tulio. Also a tough fight. Ashmuz, I think, I almost included him as an underdog opportunity. Man, Gustafsson, Soriano. Tough fight, Ogden. Dudakova. Oh my god, I'm picking underdogs. Oh my god, I'm picking underdogs. Christian Rodriguez. Oh my god. Carlson Harris, Amanda Ribas. That is a ridiculous payout. $1 gets you over 10K. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? I almost want to put that down. That's actually wild if that's the case. So the big underdogs are Ashmuz. I should have included him, but regardless, man, there's really nothing that we can parlay this time around. So I will bring you over to the betting recap of the channel, guys. And what's very interesting about the betting recap this time around is for our official plays, we had one official play. On the card, I did fantastic for picks. The one singular bet I make doesn't hit, and I was confident in it. I said in the post, my webcam's covering a little bit. This is a really tough card to bet on, so keeping things small this week, and then thank you very much for your support. A 2-fight parlay for 0.25 units, both Maverick and Woodson's fights to go over 1.5 rounds. I thought Padilla was tough enough and Woodson wouldn't end up finishing the fight. I thought that was going to go over 1.5 rounds. I thought that was the safest bet ever, okay? But the fun parlay hit. So, you know what? We're okay. We're okay. It was just some picks of mine, but I didn't want to bet on them. I ended up picking Maverick, Lima, Alvarez, Jacoby, and Buckley all to win. We did great with that. Jacoby really boosted up those odds too, which was nice. So, unfortunately, we lost the one bet, but hey, we're sitting pretty on over here, guys. If you are interested in either supporting the channel or seeing exactly what I'm doing with my money each week, every single Thursday or Friday, I will be posting, well, not over the holidays, of course, because there's no UFC, but every once in a while we'll have another organization and some official plays. I will be posting every Thursday or Friday a members-only video and a members community post with what exactly I am doing with my own money. If you're either interested in supporting the channel or seeing exactly where I'm putting my money, where my mouth is, or if you are just want to combine my fight knowledge with your own research. Thank you very much for everybody who already supports. If you want to hear me yap a little bit more about the fights, then check out the full card breakdown right here. Excuse me if you can see my notification, everybody, or hear my notification. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.